Hello, this is the BBC News with Fiona MacDonald. The United States has called for an end to a surge in violence in Afghanistan that the United Nations has warned could destabilise the entire region. Taliban militants have seized more than 50 districts across the country since the US and other international forces began their final troop withdrawal in May. The UN Special Envoy on Afghanistan, Deborah Lyons, said the pattern of seizures suggests the insurgents are positioning themselves to capture vulnerable provincial capitals.
More than 50 of Afghanistan's 370 districts have fallen since the beginning of May. Most districts that have been taken surround provincial capitals, suggesting that the Taliban are positioning themselves to try and take these capitals once foreign forces are fully withdrawn.
There are reports of heavy fighting in the northern Ethiopian region of Tigray, where a civil war erupted 8 months ago. Tigrayan troops, considered terrorists by the national government, appear to have launched an offensive against federal troops and their allies. Witnesses have told the BBC that they've seen Ethiopian military convoys in retreat. Our correspondent Kalkidan Yubetal says the fighting will hinder efforts to bring famine relief to the region.
The most likely impact is going to be on access to humanitarian aid in that region, which the aid agencies have been saying that it's not enough, is not being done, sufficient aid is not being provided. And now when these new clashes are reported, things might deteriorate and things might go from bad to worse.
The United States Senate is expected to hold a test vote shortly on proposals by the Democratic Party majority for reform of voting rights. The measure is not expected not to survive amidst united Republican opposition. Election legislation has been prioritised by the Democratic Party leadership, which says it's needed to protect and expand voter access. The Democrat Senate leader, Chuck Schumer, accused the Republicans of foul play.
Republicans across the country are deliberately targeting all the ways that younger, poorer, non-white, and typically Democratic voters access the ballot. Republicans claim they're making it easier to vote and harder to cheat in an election. In reality, they're making it harder to vote and easier to cheat in an election.
The Health Ministry in India says a new mutation of the Delta variant of coronavirus is now a variant of concern. Officials say at least 22 cases of the Delta Plus strain have been detected across India, and they've urged the 3 states where it's present, Maharashtra, Kerala and Madhya Pradesh, to introduce enhanced testing and tracing and step up vaccinations to contain its spread. World News from the BBC. Notices have appeared on a number of Iranian or Iranian-linked news websites saying that they've been seized by the US government. There's been no comment by the US Justice Department as yet, but government sources have indicated that a statement is being prepared. The sites include Iran's Arabic language TV station Al Alam and Al Jazeera TV. Reports from Yemen say that some 90 fighters have been killed in the past 2 days as the battle between Houthi rebels and forces loyal to the government for the city of Marib has intensified. After a relative lull in the fighting for the strategic city, the Houthis have carried out a series of attacks on frontline areas since Friday. The World Health Organization has said it's concerned about countries easing coronavirus restrictions for football's European Championship. The number of spectators being allowed into stadiums has been increased, with some games being played before full houses. 11 countries are hosting games, with the final and semi-finals taking place in London, with the crowd limit now set at 60,000. The German Chancellor, Angela Merkel, has called on European football's governing body, UEFA, to act responsibly.
As
far as the matches taking place in the UK go, the UK is a virus variant area, which means that everyone who wants to go to the UK has to go into quarantine for 14 days. And there are only very few exceptions for this. And I think, or rather I hope, that UEFA acts responsibly in this regard.
In the tournament, Scotland have been knocked out after losing 3-1 to Croatia in Glasgow. England finished top of Group D after beating the Czech Republic 1-0 at Wembley. England now face a potential clash with the World Cup holders France, the defending European champions, Portugal or Germany. BBC News.